Hi, my name is Nur Azima Irdina.
My name is Nur Najwa binti Muhammad Zulkifli.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Arif Aiman bin Azian, and now we will present about planning outdoor sport facility.
The introduction of outdoor sport facility, it is a wide-ranging open space and it can be whether naturally or artificially existed. So it can be either in publicly or privately owned, and one of the main objective of outdoor sport facility exists is to be a focal point for a public and community so that they can gather in one place at the same time.
Okay, so firstly, we will look at the categories of outdoor sport facility. So there are 7 kind of categories, which is court sport, diamond field, playing pitches, sport field, synthetic turf pitches, track and event field, and also golf courses. And we will look at the examples of these categories one by one. For the first categories, as you can see, which is court sport, there are 2 examples here, which is basketball court and tennis court. Next, we go to the diamond field. For the diamond field, also have 2 examples here, which is softball and baseball. Why it is named as diamond field? It is because of the diamond shape of this sports field. Okay, next is playing pitches. Playing pitches is an area painted with lines that used for playing particular sport. Actually, playing pitches is same with sport field, but the difference just the spelling, because playing pitches is actually always used by Britain people. So for the example, playing pitches is field hockey pitches and cricket pitches. Next is sport field outdoor facility, and for this category there are 3 examples. First one is soccer, second one is American football, and third one is rugby. And it is basically for a sport that using a field. Okay, next is synthetic turf pitches. It is an artificial pitches because it is made by human. So as you can see, the surface looks like a real grass, but it is not natural grass. And the example is hockey and football. Okay, so this is the last 2 categories in this topic, which is tracks and event field and also golf courses. For the tracks and event field, as you can see, there are a field and a track there, and it is always used for the athletic sport. And the last one is golf courses, and it is obviously used for golf event. Okay, next subtopic is site analysis. Site analysis is an important thing for outdoor facility planning. It is like the first thing that you need to do before you want to build a new outdoor facility, or you want to renovate or improvise an existing facilities. So it is act as a preparation for us before we want to take any action to that place. So it is involve a survey to inventory, classify, and for us to observe the natural characteristic on the site, so we can know what is the condition of the site. Okay, for the first characteristic of the site analysis is physical size of the site. Site that want to be accommodated must be suitable on the type of activities. So that's mean if you want to be something on some place, you need to consider that the size is suitable or not with the activity that you want to do. Okay, I am sorry for the point A and point B because it is actually same, but I need you guys to look at the example of the picture there, the golf construction. So if you want to build a golf courses, you need a really large area. You cannot build a golf courses if you have only a small area, because that is not fulfill the criteria of the golf courses. Okay, next is topography of the site. So topography is actually the study of the land surface. So it is include the inclination, direction, and irregularities in the surface. So as you can see at the picture, the mountains, hill, rivers, so they are all refers to the topography. If accessibility is minimal on that place, extensive improvement is needed before accommodate the program. That's mean if accessibility is minimal, like we cannot do much thing on the area because of the topography. Our movement is limited like that. So we need to do an improvement. For example, we can widen the area, or we can remove something unwanted if possible. So it is like we adjust the area until we satisfied, and we can continue to our project to build the outdoor facility or renovate the outdoor facilities. Okay, next is composition of the surface and underlying layers of earth. If the place that we choose have many rocks or it is at a swampy area, we need to remove all the rocks and we need to replace the swampy area, or else it will become a difficulties for us to build the outdoor facilities or renovate the place. Okay, next is surrounding plant life or surrounding vegetation. We can get a few benefits if we selecting a suitable vegetation place. For example, it can decrease the surface temperature. As we know that trees need a huge amount of water, so it can absorb the water to the soil and it can decrease the surface temperature. Next, vegetation place can hold the water flow, so it will avoid from the flash flood. And for the third point is vegetation place can minimizing the winds effect. So we quite safe from the condition of the strong wind that coming for us. Okay, next is surface and subsurface hydrology. So firstly, we can analyze the pattern of water movement. We need to analyze it because we need to ensure that the place is safe from like flood or not. And second one is find the method to control water distribution. Water distribution is important because we need to deliver the water to the consumer who is exist in our facility. The second last of the site analysis is climate. We need to consider a few factors under the climate before we want to build a new outdoor facilities or we want to renovate an outdoor facilities. So the first factors is orientation. Orientation like the position of the building. For example, the door of the building, when we want to face it in which position, which is north or east, like that. And then the temperature, also the wind and snowfall. So we need to consider all of the factors to avoid any consequences that can happen for our outdoor facilities. Okay, and for the last point is others factor that might relate to the site analysis. Okay, for the historical significance mean that the place that have value on something or someone. So if you found this place, you need to consider that whether it is good or not if you want to continue to build an outdoor facility in this place, because historical significance have their own story. And next is habitat for endangered species. It is more like the precaution step. So you need to consider that if there is a wildlife that live there, you can just continue to build the outdoor facility or not. And lastly is land use policies. Of course, if you want to build something or you want to renovate something, you need to take a legal action so that you can run the outdoor facility legally.
Next, planning outdoor facilities. Planning outdoor facilities have two types of approach, which is site design and program design. Site design is the place of the event, and we must to choose the most suitable place that we want to build our sport facilities with the types of event. And for program design, we must know the space requirement of the sport types that we have choose, and the sport facilities that we want to build must meet people's desire. For example, it must links with public transportation, have car parking, and accessible for urban interfaces. Next, check the maintenance and program. We must know the maintenance of our sport facilities, such as our wall, our roof, our spectators' place, and also the lighting and so on. Planning process should consist of accessibility, expandability, isolation, adaptation, and integration. For accessibility, our sport facility must be easily accessible to people, that they can easily come to our sport facilities. And for expandability, our sport facilities is not for only one type of event, but can be used for many events, such as sport football stadiums is not only for football but can also use for track and field event. Next, isolation. Isolation means our sport facilities is only our sport facilities without any other disturb from outside. Adaptation. Adaptation is most likely to be plan B because it is the plan to reduce the cost or impact on our facilities. For critical, we must know how important our facilities towards country and economy. For vulnerability, is there any possibility to our facilities to be attacked or to be harmed from outside? For the threat is the damage that can occur to our facilities and the climate impact. For consequences is the impact of the threat, the damage, and the climate change. So we must have the adaptation to reduce the cost on impact or the breakdown. For integration, as you can see in the picture that I've brought, right? Nation people come to the stadium to support their country on football, and they are not being racist of their races or their state to support their country. Next is surfacing. Determination of the surface quality and system is based on its unique characteristics, means that each of the surface have their own unique characteristic that we choose to use the surface. As example of the qualities is durability. Durability is ability to withstand the pressure. So we must know the selection of grass type, the way of care, and drainage effectiveness, that it is durability. It is withstands the pressure, and we know that we can use it for the long time. So next is stain resistant. Stain resistant is the discoloration that occur when surfaces have contact with liquids or material. Means that if our surfaces is not stain resistant, we have to use our money to repair the stain on the surface. So we must choose the most suitable surface that have stain resistance. For safety, we must choose the surface that can protect our athlete from slippery and fall accidents. The shock absorption and cushioning property of rubber ensures that athletes are safe. Means that when athlete lands on the surface, they won't slippery and fall. That might make them injured. So we must choose the most safety quality of surface. Next, extend usage is the long-term use and can use more than one season. So that we have to choose the like before, the durability and stain resistance, that we don't have to change our surface each season. For initial cost is money required for the capital construction, cost of first purchase, and additional value or cost will be agreed later. Means that this is the cost that we use to buy the surface at the for the first time, and it is not same with operational and maintenance cost. For operational cost means that the ongoing when we use the surface, maybe we rent the surface, so we have to pay for the rent, and the payroll mean that maybe the cleaning of the surface we need to pay the cleaner. So that's the operational cost. For maintenance cost is to keep our surface is in a good condition, so we must use the money to keep the surface in a good term. Next, types of material of the surface. It has turf, synthetic surface, masonry, concrete, synthetic turf, and aggregates. Turf and synthetic turf are the different types of material. Okay, turf. Turf is the natural grass that is installed on an aggregate and sharp sand base on a root zone layer. Turf is the original grass that we plant on the sand for the advantage, aesthetically pleasing because the colour catch the eye, great resilience and acts as natural cushion since it's original, dust free and clean, cooler temperature and can do many activities. For disadvantage, higher operating and maintenance costs since we have to plant on the sand, slippery and slow dry because when it rain or wet, it is slippery and it hard to dry, dirty when in contact. When athlete fall on the turf, their clothes will be discolored and there will be sand on their clothes and low acceleration. When we use turf, the ball or any equipment on the turf is slow. Okay, aggregates. Aggregates have three types of aggregate, which is gravel, graded stone and cinders. It is used for drainage and base layer and combined with soils. The advantage is low initial cost and disadvantage is require constant maintenance and can be a weapon. As we know, when we was on school, we used to pick the stone when we are on the assembly and throw it to our friends. So it is the types of aggregates. Masonry. The example of masonry is bricks, stone and concrete masonry. It is used for walkways like traffic, roadways, retaining walls and building. As the example there, I've provide you the retaining walls picture, building and the walkways.
Next is concrete. Concrete used for walkways, roadways and retaining walls. For advantage of the concrete is extremely durable and hard wearing. Second, suitable in any weather because it is hard. Third, low maintenance. And four, variety, colors and texture. For disadvantage of concrete is a high cost for installation. And second is hard surface. Okay, next is synthetic surface. Advantage of synthetic surface is first, easy for maintenance. Second, comfort. Third, uniform color. Four, uniform bounce. As you can see in the field hockey, when the athlete hit the ball, so you can see the uniform bounce of the ball to the other player. Disadvantage of synthetic surface. First, surface fast broken due to excessive wear from spike. So you have to regularly check the synthetic surface when you are done held competition. Second, need specialized knowledge to install. So if you want to install the synthetic surface, you have to hire some people with specialized knowledge. So the surface of synthetic surface, there are three different surface for synthetic surface. First, water based, which is they are using water base in field hockey. Second, polymeric, athletic tracks. Athletic track are using polymeric surface. And third, basketball using a tarmac and acrylic for synthetic surface. Next is synthetic surface turf. There are 5 layers for synthetic surface turf, which are: the first is existing soil. Second layer is subsurface drainage. Third layer is a layer of permeable material. 4 layers a cushion part, and 5 layers surface turf layer. Okay, advantage of synthetic surface turf is to increase speed of object. So that as you can see, football play at the surface turf because it gives more speed to them to run, catch the ball. Second is constant bounce. Same goes to football. If you hit the ball and the ball will bounce constantly to the other player. And third, provide more responsiveness to player movement. And 4, need a permit to use. And need a permit to use, for example, you have to ask the authority to build a surface turf. And this advantage of synthetic surface turf is high cost. Yes, high cost, because there's a 5 layer. It consists of 5 layer. And second, always inspection and repair the carpet. Third is UV light break down the fiber. UV light will break down the fiber of the layers, so it will give your layer broken. 4 is harder than grass, so if you fall at the surface turf, you easily get injured compared to you fall at the grass. For always inspection and repair the carpet, because there are many layers, so you have to check one by one. Next is guideline for selection process. First is definition. You have to know the definition of your product. Second, comparison between your product with others' product. Visitation site, which means you have to know where you can install your product safely. Next is selection. You have to select which material are good for your product. Next is quality. You have to find the best quality for your product. Next is you have to search for which manufacturer are ready for manufacture your product. Next is you're gonna find a company to install your product. And next is you have to find the company to maintain your product. And next is you have to calculate the initial cost of the product. So next is you have to know life cycle of the product, which is you have to know this product are durable or not. Next is you have to open bidding to the others company, and the others company will buy from you, and they will installation your product. Standard for sport surface is representing a code to assess durability and safety. For example, German industry norms for outdoor sport surface. The code is DIN 18032.2, established 1986. Second, British industry norms for multi-sport use of artificial surface. The code is BS 7044.4, established 1991. Next is test procedure and norms for noise level. The code is AS 1055.2, established 1986. Next, synthetic sport surface. The code is AS 2983, established 1988. Next is synthetic sport surface general principle. The code is AS 3541.1, 91988. Okay, next is international norm of fire hazard rating by critical radiant flux, which is ISO DRS 9239. Okay, there are 6 characteristics of floor standard, which are shock absorption, reflective indentation, ball reflection, rolling load, sliding characteristic, and standard vertical deformation. Shock absorption. First, reduce impact of contact with floor surface. What if the impact of contact with floor is higher? So it will give the athlete or person injured easily. Second, greater shock absorption are more safe because the energy will the floor will absorb fastly the energy that we give to the floor. Third, aerobic floor need more shock absorption compared to basketball, because aerobic floor aerobic floor, people at the aerobic floor will give more energy, more force to the floor, which they always jump and jump. Compared to basketball floor, they are only running and just bounce their ball. Next is deflective indentation. First is deviate from original path. Second, ball bounce at uneven surface of the field more deviate compared to even surface. For example, you are playing football at uneven surface, at uneven of the field, so you need to pass the ball to your friends, but because of uneven surface, your ball will bounce deviately and will go to the other person. Next is standard vertical deformation. There are two types, which are high deformation, means the surface are too soft. Second, low deformation, means the surface too hard. Okay, next is the greater the deformation, the more the floor deflect downward. For example, big people, for next what we call obesity people. Obesity people, when they hitting the floor, when they are hitting the soft surface, you can see the surface will deflect downward compared to skinny person. Okay, next is floor with minimum deformation is not good at absorbing impact force, because minimum deformation are too hard. They will not absorb the impact of force if we give to the surface. Next characteristic is ball reflection. Okay, response of ball drop at the floor compared to ball drop at the concrete. There are difference. Ball drop at the floor and ball drop at the concrete. The concrete are too hard, so the ball hardly to get bounced compared to ball drop at the floor, because floor has a soft surface. Rolling load. A floor ability to durable with heavy weight without breaking or damage the floor. Rolling load. A floor ability to durable with heavy weight without breaking or damage the floor. So as you can see, road in Malaysia has a lot of pothole, because this is because of overload lorry or truck, and the surface of the road cannot durable the heavy weight of the overload truck. Next is sliding characteristic. Surface friction of the top of the floor. So if we have a less of friction at the floor, the floor is poor sliding and are not suitable for aerobic and basketball, because when they do some activity, they are easily sliding and it will give them injured easily. Different area, different light intensity, because sunlight have covered some areas. So if the areas are not covered from sunlight, so we have to put lights a lot compared to areas that are covered by sunlight. Next is illumination level increase as level of play, numbers of spectators increase. So lights level need to increase level of the player, so the spectator will be increased because they can easily see the player play. Okay, next is incandescent and fluorescent not used due to the high cost. Yes, because outdoor activity are more easily use lights from the outside, from the sunlight, from the natural light, and we can reduce the cost, so we don't use incandescent and fluorescent. There are three types of lamp we use in outdoor facility, which are high pressure of sodium. As you can see, this is a lamp at the road in Malaysia, have a yellow color. And next is metal halide. This is something like that, something like spotlight. And next is mercury. Mercury lamp is a standard lamp in houses in Malaysia. Okay, next is conclusion. Sports facility manager is to address and overcome each unique design challenge of facility. So basically, sport facility manager are responsible to fix the challenge of the facility and to increase the facility of sport. So next is, the larger a facility project, the greater details are overlooked in the planning and design process, because a large facility project will have more cost compared to small facility project. That's why we have to check details the planning and design process, so we cannot do a mistake, because it is a high cost. So next is, the better it is planned, design and construction, the better objective will achieve. So basically, planning is the number one. So if we plan well, the result and the objective will